Yo, what up, what up, what up? It's your boy Roy, accompanied by the one, the only, the Dominican bad man, Sergio, aka the floor price guy, and we're Combat Sport Guys coming back to you with another UFC full card breakdown. This time in the form of UFC 314. Volkanovski takes on Lopes for the vacated featherweight title. But before we get into that full card breakdown, let's go over last week where we gave you some solid picks in Reese McKee at dog money. We gave you Ode Osborne money line at dog money. We gave you the prop for the KO at a plus 500 plus money. We gave you Murphy via decision. We gave you Joanderson Brito and Pat Sabatini to go over the 1.5 rounds, where everybody and their mother predicted that Joanderson Brito was going to get him out of there in the first round. What did you think about last week's card, man? We've been doing well with the picks. We've been doing well with the bets. As always, we try to remain transparent. We try to remain accountable for how well we did. Last week, I went 8 of 12 on my picks, whereas the floor price guy went 7 of 12. Okay night. Not our best in terms of picks, but for the bets, we did pretty well.
Yeah, not our bets as well. With like we've had better nights when it comes to betting. Let's face it, like we had like 3 weeks where we got 12 bets in, 8 bets in. It's like, whoa, yeah. What's going on?
I think for the last card, what really threw us off is that we put our bets in early and we didn't foresee or anticipate, Kennedy and Nzechukwu, pulling out. Davy Grant and his fight being canceled, right? Because that kind of ruined a lot of our money lines and our parlays because we had Kennedy in a couple. So it is what it is.
And I mean, from last week, the most, I mean, my confident pick was Ode Osborne at a plus.
Yeah, I went against you on that one, but that was a good call, man.
Yeah, but it happens, right? Like, and it's crazy because Ode comes out and said, "I fucked up y'all parlays, bro." I slipped in my stuff, tweet, right? Bro. Yeah, I slipped in my stuff. I was like, bro,
I think my favorite tweet was Leon Murphy. It was like, y'all wanted me to be like this, and he posted the picture of Bryce Mitchell on the ground.
He did good, man. My only issue is
you gotta like that type of humor, man. That's funny.
No, it's great. It's great because Josh was like, because I would have put you down. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
But what was I gonna say? Cheating in MMA, bro, is legal. You can eye poke a motherfucker. Like, bro was landing oblique kicks, and bro, I wasn't even mad because it's like
he looked good though. Like he was fighting at range and he was point fighting. He was moving around. It's exactly what I told you, right? I was like, he understands the power that Emmett has. He's not going to put himself in the situations that he put himself with Ige, right? And he fought well, man. It's not. I think what people are upset about is they want to see him get that undeniable win, right? Like where he just knocks somebody out, flatline somebody, submit somebody, and I think people find like going. It's like Leon Murphy, not Leon. I said Leon Murphy. It's like
Edwards,
Leon Edwards, right? Like they get upset that he goes to the decision, right?
They're similar. We don't talk about that individual, bro. That individual said he's back. I don't know about that. But listen, let's start with the card, baby. I'm pumped.
Yeah, let's get into this card. We have UFC 314 live in Miami this Saturday, April 12th. I am excited for this card. This is probably the best pay-per-view this year, and we'll get into it. Let's add you to the stage. Are you on the stage?
Yeah, I'm already there.
Here we go. All right, kicking off the card. We have some females going after it. We have Nora Cornolle versus Haley Cowan. Cornolle is 8-2-0 and is 4-5 in their last five bouts, last losing to Jacqueline Cavalcante via split decision. Cowan is 7-3-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last losing to Jamie Lynn Horth via unanimous decision. Now, when you look at these two matched up, Cornolle is the better striker of the two. And her grappling isn't the best, but it is improving. Her takedown defense is somewhere where she can improve on and get better in. She has that Muay Thai background. She's good in the clinch. She has a knockout ability, as you can see per her record. She's going up against Cowan, who has been out for 2 years due to injury. She's very athletic. She uses her athleticism to secure takedowns. She doesn't have the cleanest takedowns. She doesn't set up her takedowns with combinations. Her striking's okay and her grappling's okay. I think here Cornolle is just the better overall fighter, whereas Cowan is more athletic, right? But having that 2-year delay and just kind of relying on her athleticism, I'm going to go with Cornolle here. I liked how she looked against Jacqueline Cavalcante. I think we both picked Cavalcante in that fight to win. And for her to get the split decision, I mean, She has dog in her, man, and I like her striking. I think Cornolle's gonna get it done here.
And it's crazy. They had her at a split decision,
Yeah.
and I think it was clear, right? Cavalcante had the footwork advantage. It wasn't striking; it was more footwork. And then she was picking her apart, and then Nora came in and took her down one round, dominated. But Haley, I mean, look, what do we have to say about this? I'll propose a question for you. Do you think Haley has better footwork than Cavalcante?
No.
Okay, well that answers your questions. Think she's going to be a little bit more stiff? Because if she would have that a little bit elusive in and out movement, I would give her a shot. But the fact is, like, Nora will plant her foot and she's gonna look to. I don't know, man. Even with Nora, I would put money. I'm gonna go with Nora, but I would put money to not go to the decision. I think she has the hands.
Oh wow, you think she puts her away?
I think she has heavy hands, and she's fought great opposition. Let's be like this, Jocelyn Edwards, bro. Jocelyn,
yeah, it's a big girl, right? Thick girl, right? She's Dominican, no? Or where's she from?
No, she's from Venezuela or Ecuador, I want to say.
Okay, I got the wrong South American country. My fault.
It's okay. It doesn't. We're all the same.
Yo pensé que era uno de los tuyos.
No. I wish that booty. I'm sorry that.
No, she's thick, bro. I'm not gonna lie. She got some big legs.
She's a thick fighter. No, she's like Nora Durman, like, which is good, right? It's good. But I'm going with Nora. Just footwork, everything. I just like Nora better. I'm the same to you.
Yeah, we're both gonna go with Nora Cornolle to get it done here. I think a good bet, as you mentioned, would be inside the decision. Decision, no action, right?
Yes.
Or inside the distance. We got to look at both those two, or maybe by points.
I like that.
I will see. For me, it's kind of weird because I'm in Vegas, so a lot of the props don't drop until later on the sports book that I use. But I'll be looking at those.
I'm gonna check right now, actually. While you kind of
let us know before we get into the next one.
Well, let me see, Rick, because I'm interested in that one, right? Because one of the things we're facing this year, we're trying to be a little bit more safety, but we're also trying to go for value. So we'll go.
This card has a lot of dogs, man. If you want value, this card has so many dogs.
Yeah, it does have. So value goes to distance, no, plus 150.
Yeah.
Plus 150, minus 200 goes value. Wow, okay. It's not bad at all, I'll tell you that right now. But yeah, knockout. I still don't have the knockout, but I have the
Okay.
Let's go on to the next one.
We'll move on here to our next bout. And you mentioned Norma Dumont, her significant other is fighting again here, and Marco Tulio taking on Trishan Gore. Gore is 5-2-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Antonio Troccoli via submission. Tulio is 13-1-0 and is 5-5 in their last 5 bouts, last knocking out Ihor Poteria. You know, my favorite fighter. You know, my favorite.
Bro, you're never gonna see that name again, bro.
He got cut, right? Damn.
No, you say cool, bro, but it's just like I feel that we met Puteria has been fighting for like.
I just love saying that name, man. Even before we started recording, I would call you, be like Puteria.
That's crazy.
When you look at these two sized up, you know, Gore, he has a grappling heavy approach and he has some power behind his shots. He doesn't have the best technique and he doesn't throw with a lot of volume and output. He's going up against somebody in Marco Tulio who has an aggressive striking approach, and he is the better technical, efficient striker. And he's competent on the ground as well. We haven't seen it as much in the UFC, but he does have that shoot the pucks background where, you know, they like to throw hands and they like to scramble off the ground as well. I believe that if, you know, Gore does take this fight to the ground and try to get the grappling going, I think Tulio has the ability to bring it back to its feet. His takedown defense hasn't been tested in the UFC, as we saw against Poteria. It was 2 kickboxers going against each other, 2 strikers, I would say. I think for this fight, I think Marco Tulio has more tools to win. I'm going to pick him to win this fight. You know, I think he can get it done. Maybe based on Gore's striking defense and his cardio, I think he can get it done in 2 rounds, maybe 3rd round late finish. But I got Tulio here. I like his power.
We bet against Tulio, eh? Sorry, we bet not Tulio. We bet against Gore in his last fight.
We bet against Gore, and like recently, his last 2 bouts, he's put out some freaking sketchy guillotines, man, where he's like, you know, submitted his past 2 opponents. But yeah, he's good, man. He's coming into his own, but we haven't seen him put it all together, right? We haven't seen him in the striking realm yet. I think Tulio gets it done here.
I'm gonna go with Tulio too. I'm gonna parlay Tulio because I don't like that hefty minus 355. Gamble
Yeah.
100 to make $30 back is not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So we're gonna
And
go
you look
strongly with
at
Tulio. Yeah.
you look at Gore, right? Like he lost to Brian Battle that in 2022, and Brian Battle has proven to be pretty good, right? He lost to Cody Brundage, but in that fight he came in on short notice and he didn't really have a game plan. Kind of talked about it in an interview. He didn't have a game plan and he got knocked out in the first round. But after that, he kind of put it together. He got 2 first round finishes via guillotine. So we'll see. We'll see how he looks against Tulio. We'll see how the striking looks, right? If he's unable to get the wrestling going.
And this is a different. Let's be honest. With Marco Tulio, we're dealing with a different animal. And
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, bro. Like this guy is top 15 material. He just has to beat a couple more fights.
Yeah.
If you've seen Norma Dermont, how better she's become, it's probably because
she's good. Yeah.
Probably because they're in the same training camp. And sometimes, like Sabatini last week. What I was gonna say was not just because Sean Brady did well, didn't mean that Sabatini did well. But sometimes, they come, both look, camps unite, and sometimes it's like the fighting nerds, right? Sometimes they all look good versus other times it's just like you got that one guy, bro, that came out to Topuria, came out to the Hamza.
Guram
What are we doing over here, bro?
Yeah, but sometimes camps don't make you, like, we've gone back and forth, right? Like there's been times when you said, "Oh, this guy's training with so and so," or I've said it, and the response that I always give is they're not in the octagon with you, man. They're not making the decisions. You don't have the same tools as them. You don't have the same mindset, the fight IQ. But yeah, so
let's see what
I think Tulio gets it done here, though. We'll move on to our next bout. We have Mitch Raposo taking on Sumudaerji. Raposo is looking for his first UFC win. Sumudaerji is 16-7-0 and is 2-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Charles Johnson via unanimous decision. Raposo is 9-2-0 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Andre Lima via split decision. If you look at that fight and you don't watch tape, you're gonna be like, "Oh wow, he took Andre Lima to a split decision. Andre Lima's great." He got his ass beat in that fight. He did. That's no split decision, man. That's crazy that one judge gave it to him. It was a unanimous decision, and then at the end of the day, it was Andre Lima, right? Raposo, he has solid boxing and nice striking technique. He's a well-rounded fighter with a wrestling base. He's what's it called? On the regional scene, he's shown his resilience and he has some savvy, jiu-jitsu where he has gotten some submissions. And I think the issue that he faced against Andre Lima was that he wasn't able to get the wrestling going. And I think here, now that he got his UFC debut out of the way, he's going to be more composed, more polished, and he's going to be able to get the wrestling going and take down Sumudaerji, who does have issues with takedown defense, right? Like when you look at Sumudaerji, he's fast, clean with his striking. He has that kickboxing and Sanda background. He likes to utilize his length and his speed and dominate at range. He has nice kicks, nice punches, but his takedown defense, right? I think in this fight, we're going to see Raposo close the distance, secure some key takedowns, and on the ground work, right? I think I like Raposo here to get his first W. When you look at Sumudaerji in that, Charles Johnson fight, Charles Johnson was able to take him down, I think 3 or 4 times. I'm not sure how many times. I don't have it off the top of my head, but he was able to take him down, right? And Charles Johnson does have the wrestling background, but he doesn't always use it, right? He likes to strike kind of in his fights. So I think Raposo is going to have the same success here, man, and get his first W in the UFC. I like him here.
Yeah, and man, it's crazy. Oof, what's crazy about this particular fight? Like,
the reach. I know you like the reach.
I am gonna go with Raposo as well. Like, there's something about. I might change my mind. You know what it is? I just like how Sumo was able to get wild in there and was able to come up because. And I look at it. Who's a potentially better grappler? Johnson or Raposo, right? And the thing is, Raposo's gonna look for him to kind of take him down. Like I said, at a -120, minus 225 will stay away from this fight. I might do a money line bet if Raposo turns up a little bit higher. Right now, he's sitting at wow. Actually, the odds have shifted.
What is the odds now?
Plus 145. Not
It
bad.
went up or down?
Plus 145. It went down. It went down.
Okay.
So that's the thing about it. I would have wanted for it to go past. Now over minus 350. Will the fight equal the distance? No. Plus 120. Minus 155. It goes the distance. I don't know. We'll see. I have Raposo, and like I'm for 51.49. That's all I can say. Because my man Sumo looked good, man. Sumo, he
Yeah.
looked very good. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
I think looking at the props, I might consider based on how good it looks, I might do Raposo by points, right? Or Raposo by points or the over. I gotta see how those odds fare out, but we'll move on here to our next bout. We're both going with Raposo to get his first W in the UFC. Right, he's had some unsuccessful moments, right? Like he lost to Jake Hadley, he lost in the Ultimate Fighter, I believe. So I think he gets it done here, man. He needs that W. It's gonna be like Reese McKee, kind of, if you think about it, right? Like Reese McKee.
Yeah, he needs it.
Next up, we have some middleweights in action. We have Cedriques Dumas taking on Mikhail Oleksiejczuk. I can never say this name, bro. Oleksiejczuk. We'll just say Mikhail O. Dumas is 10-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Dennis Tululin via unanimous decision. Mikhail is 19-9-0 and is 1-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Shara Magomedov via unanimous decision. When you look at both these fighters here, you have Dumas, who can secure takedowns, but he doesn't necessarily have the best ground game. He's a long, rangy fighter with the kickboxing background. He usually relies on his reach to maintain distance. He has struggled with consistency, right? He isn't the most consistent fighter. And he doesn't like when people apply the pressure and get in his face. And he's going up against somebody in Mikhail who I think has the offensive pressure that would be too much for Dumas. He's fast. He has decent pops. He's an aggressive brawler with a strong boxing foundation. He's also good on the ground, and he likes to get chaotic and, get wild, right? And I think that first round is going to be very telling. Yeah, I like Mikhail here, man. I think he gets it done. I know he's the he's the favorite, right? Yeah, he's the favorite. So I didn't even know he was the favorite. I thought he was the underdog. Yeah, I'm gonna go with Mikhail here. I think the forward pressure, the aggressiveness, the power, I think is gonna be too much for Dumas.
Yeah, and I mean, look, Mikhail has been put in way rougher situations. Like, he did beat. That's why I was going back because I had to remember there was a time he beat OSP, and when he went to that OSP match,
yeah,
this was in 2019. I'm trying to even go back further.
And real quick, while you do that, look at his last 5 fights, right? Kyle Barallo, he lost to, right? Kyle Barallo's in the top 5, right? Chidi Njokuani, we all saw how good Chidi was against Elizeku dos Santos. Michel Pereira, right? Kevin Holland, Shara Magomed, like all these guys are elite fighters, man. That I think. Do you think Dumas can beat these guys? No, right? So the level of competition, I think, is the difference here. And people are going to look at the record and be like, "Oh, I'm going to go with Cedriques. He's better. He's faster. But you got to look at things a little bit closer."
Yeah, I like Mikhail. He's a minus 190. I mean, this is a telling fight for Dumas, I have to say, but I just don't. I'm trying to figure out a way how can Dumas get it done, but no, he's not. I don't think he gets it. Respectfully, of course, right?
Yeah.
I don't think he gets it done.
All right, so we're both agreeing here, right? We've agreed so far on every fight. Yeah, I think we've agreed on every fight. One dog so far. Next up, we have Darren Elkins taking on Julian Erosa. Now, Elkins is 29-11-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Daniel Pineda via unanimous decision. Erosa is 30-11-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Christian Rodriguez via submission. I like this fight here, man. I think this is going to be a good fight. Before I get into it, I want to throw the rock to you. What do you have here? Give me the breakdown. Who are you going with? Why? What's up?
Christian Rodriguez, and I know both fighters, right? Like both fighters are good. Pineda, it's a TJ Brown fight. I'm trying to remember. Jonathan Pierce, we know what's about. I don't know, man. I'm gonna go with Elkins, and why? Don't ask me why. How about that?
No,
Because
at the
I can't. I
yeah,
you know what it is? It's like it's like that old guard of I'm trying to remember the time when he was just an animal and he did the upset.
yeah,
This is not that big of upset either. I think Julian Erosa has become the better fighter or has faced the top raw position. I could kind of say. Um, yeah, like his submission win against Christian Rodriguez is the one that has me a little bit like, oh shit, like
yeah. Erosa, Erosa's well rounded. He's good on the ground. He's good striking. His issue is his takedown defense, right? And I'm gonna be intrigued to see how he holds up against Elkins, who loves to come
yeah,
forward. He loves to grind. He loves to secure takedowns. He has good wrestling and great cardio, right? He's gonna be in your face for those 3 minutes. And the thing I like about Elkins is that he makes fighters fight his fight. He makes them, you know, feed into his game plan, right? He's gonna get dirty. He's gonna get doggy. I was gonna say he's gonna get doggy, but he has that dog in him, right?
yeah,
He has that tattoo, right? The damage tattoo on his chest.
bad man.
And I like his wrestling first approach, and I think that's gonna be the difference here with Arosa's, weak takedown defense. I think he's gonna push the pace. He's gonna get in his face. He's gonna secure some takedowns. A lot of people are, banking on the idea that Erosa is going to catch him in a guillotine. I don't think he's going to submit Elkins, man. I don't
No,
think Elkins is going
Elkins
to
is not getting
get it.
submitted.
I think people are seeing his last, victories. There's a bit of recency bias that, he's had some submissions. He's going to get him in a gilly or whatever, but I don't think so. I think this fight goes to a decision, and I think Elkins pulls away with the victory here. When I saw the odds, and I think I even posted them on our Twitter account, I even sent them to you, right? It was like plus 300 for Elkins. I'm taking that all day, man. He can dog it out. He can for sure dog it out. But Erosa, he does have the height and he does have the reach advantage. So, I would look for him to try to keep this fight at range, right? Utilize his length, utilize his reach, kind of piece him up at range, pick his shots accordingly, move in and out, and not let Elkins get close and secure takedowns. But yeah, I'm gonna agree with you here. I'm gonna go with Elkins. I think Elkins gets it done. I like him as a dog here.
Yeah, and like if he comes with if he comes with that killer mindset, I think he gets it
Mm-hmm.
done. Juicy J is no joke though. Like I gotta say, like it's just more first like I look like we like to look at odds, and I just like I'm like fuck mine at plus 270, plus 300. I do like it. He was on his trajectory up actually. Like after he went 1, 2, 3, 6 in a row, and my
Yeah.
man was almost gonna get close to that top 5, and then he stumbles upon the great Volkanovski, and after that, I think Volkanovski got Chad Mendes, and the rest was history. But he's fought very good. His losses are even Jonathan Pierce, man. Jonathan Pierce is no joke. Like
Yeah.
he's a good fighter. We'll see. Like at 40 years old, I think he has it, especially at a plus money like that, bro. Because they're banking on he's getting older, right? He could,
Yeah, they're
what is
banking on us getting older. He can get submitted. He can get knocked out, right?
Let's move on to the next one because you know who I'm going with.
We'll move on to the next one here. And before we move on, make sure you follow us on X at Combat Sport, guys. The link is going to be in the description below. As always, we drop our picks after we film and after we record a YouTube. We also drop our bets later on in the week. We try to get them to you guys earlier, but we like to wait till after the weigh-ins because we have been burned in the past with fighters not making weight, fighters not looking good, fights being canceled. So that's part of the game, right? Like when do you input your bets, right? Because I'm starting to get into. I used to not look at the odds. I used to look at the fights and then pick right there, right, and then look at the odds and then do my research. But now I'm getting in the habit of looking at the odds on Saturday night, on Sunday night, and kind of being like, "Oh wow, this is a dog right here. I'm gonna put money on this guy." Like that kind of mentality. So we will put them out later on in the week. Make sure you tap in. Make sure you show some love. As always, we're not charging anything. We're not offering a subscription. We're not giving you like exclusive picks. We're not charging you for picks. It's just all our opinions out there, and we've been profitable, and we hope that you guys either consider, or fade. It doesn't matter to us. Let us know your opinions. It's always love, right? Yes, next up, we have Chase Hooper taking on Jim Miller. Did I say that right? Is Jim Miller fighting again?
Bro, what do you mean?
Not right. Bro. That's not right. Jim Miller 41-year-old Jim Miller? Oh man.
Hey,
Okay.
bro, listen.
I gotta give you a little bit. I gotta give you a little bit.
You know who we're going with, bro.
I know who you're going with. Hooper is 15-3-1 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Clay Guida via submission. Miller is 38-18-1 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last submitting Damon Jackson. Miller, he's got that veteran savvy, man. He's been at UFC 100, at UFC 200, and I saw him at UFC 300. He has good grappling, good striking. He's well-rounded. He has strong BJJ and exceptional durability. When you look at Hooper, though, he's a well-rounded fighter. He has that Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where he's especially has that black belt, and his striking is improving. I think, obviously on the feet, Miller's going to have the striking edge, but Hooper should be faster.
Please don't say that. Don't. Can I stop you here?
I said Miller's going to have the advantage on the feet.
Okay,
I said that.
Can I stop you on the ground?
Well, hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
I didn't even say what I was gonna say. I said if this fight gets to the ground, that's where I think it's gonna be interesting, man. I think Hooper will be the more active of the two. Give me youth, give me speed, give me life, give me Chase Hooper, baby. Let's go. I can make a side bet with you if you want, brother. We can do that all day. Make a side bet
because I'm Jim Miller all day, baby. I put the stat down when Jim Miller.
He's the plus 500. Oh, that's scary.
No. It's worse. It's worse.
It got worse?
Plus 1,000 now.
Oh, no. I'm staying. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you got to stay away.
For the people watching, if you see a minus, if you see a minus 1,000, yeah, correct, a minus 1,000, please, for the love of God, do not put them in every parlay.
Yeah.
Do not make them your solid pick, because what have we learned time and time again, Mr. Floor Price Guy? Tell the people what we learned.
You lose money.
We lose money, right? Because
Brito fucked us all up.
Brito fucked you. Brito fucked up a lot of people. The one that got me the worst was Peyton Talbot, right? I did not predict that he was going to get manhandled like that in the way he did. And I know maybe, outside of the octagon, that's what he likes, to get manhandled. But in the octagon, he looked bad. He looked bad, right? On the ground. And I think he ruined a lot of people's parlay. So, be cautious. If you're really confident in Hooper getting it done, put him in there. What are the odds for the submission for both fighters? Can you look those up for me?
Oh, yeah, I'll put it up right now. That's crazy.
What is the decision? What is the inside the distance? I'm curious.
Over plus 130.
So plus 130 for who?
2 over. Under is minus 170.
Wait, the over is plus 130?
Yeah.
For the over 1.5 or 2.5?
2.5.
Oh, 2.5.
Yeah, I'm trying to look for. I don't have the submission yet.
There's no submission.
I would love to see the prop. I would like to see the stuff. Jim Miller round 1. I'm gonna say this, bro. Like, you motherfuckers disrespecting Jim Miller when this motherfucker. And that's the thing. At this point, it's an age thing, bro. It's like, but Damon Jackson couldn't get him out. I'll tell you that right now.
Listen, if hold on real quick before you continue. If you're new to the show, or if you fast forward to this breakdown, Floor Price Guy is notorious for picking the old guard, and he has been successful on a few occasions. And when he is successful, he doesn't let me hear the end of it. But just keep that in mind. He loves the old guard. He doesn't like the new age as much.
No, but I like a plus 650 though.
I know.
Here's the thing about it. This is what I'm saying. Like, Clay Guida armbar, bro. Like,
that was a given because he beat him in a submission match. Like, we all knew that he was gonna submit him, right? Because they've fought outside of the UFC in a grappling match, and he beat him there. I said submission match. I meant grappling.
That was a horrible decision. The one thing about this kid, bro, is that this kid does gas. I'm gonna be 100 with you. This kid gasses. Now at lightweight. I don't know if he gasses. Like, I don't see. One of the fights that I have to go back before I go big on Miller is watch the Nick Fiore. But Nick Fiore is not Jim Miller. Now, he's gonna try to take it to the feet, but Jim is a wizard on the feet, on the ground too. The issue is who has the better. You said it best. Who has the better conditioning? If it's first round, you got to give it a hopper. But if it passes second and third, I think old man Miller is gonna really, put it on him. I'm gonna go with Miller, man. I like Miller.
and I gotta give you your flowers because you have time and time and time predicted some of the craziest dogs on a lot of these cards. But the issue is you pick a lot of dogs and some of them don't win, but some do win. And the ones that do win, we give you flowers for. But I think I'm gonna introduce a new segment where we're like, "Yo, floor price guy, who's your most confident dog on this card?" Because you gave us Carlos Vera, you gave us Chidi and Jakwani, you gave us Ode Osborne, you gave us a bunch of dogs this year that people need to start paying attention to, man. Because if he wins,
okay, let's say this: you need to go back and watch. I'm gonna do it after this before I go big on Miller. We need to watch Nick Fiore versus Chase Hopper, and we need to observe the second and third round. We need to see how tired, because I remember and the thing is, when Chase was coming up, Chase gets sloppy. Chase is a very sloppy fighter when he's gassed.
Yeah.
He's not.
I think he's coming into his own though, man. I think he's getting better.
Yeah. The thing I like reach, and Chase Hopper is gonna have a reach on Miller, but Chase Hopper is also not a jab. Like he's not gonna knock you out or everything is rear naked choke, and that's what it's hard because when Jim Miller debuted at the UFC in 2008, Hopper was 9 or 8. And
what were you doing in 2008, bro? What were you doing in 2008?
You want to, bro? I was watching the UFC, bro. I was, you know what it was, bro? Brock Lesnar got me like.
Brock Lesnar got you.
Brock Lesnar got me in, and Chael Sonnen got me to stay because it was like.
Yeah, you're a big Chael Sonnen fan.
Yeah, back to
I think I was barely entering high school, bro. I think I was barely entering high school.
I was in. Damn, that's crazy. I'm old man. That's crazy. But I remember like. I was before Jim Miller was when. Yeah, Brock Lesnar got me into the party. So 2009, 2010, I got in the UFC, and I Miller, bro. This Miller was the stud back then. Miller was the top 5 back in the day. It's just sometimes, bro. Benson Henderson just took that man's title shot away. But going back into this fight, age is the big factor here. But if you put age on the side, I think he's gonna have good success. He was able to survive Bobby. The loss was decision. Bobby's no joke, man.
That was a good. That was at 300, right? Was that at 300, yeah. Bobby Green?
Yeah, because he's the only fighter that's been in UFC 1, 2. UFC 1, he beat Joe Loazo. UFC 200, he beat Takanori Gomi, and then 3, he got whipped by Bobby.
Yeah, I saw that.
He says he wants to be in 400, eh? So
we'll see. So we are on opposing ends here. I am going with the youngster in Chase Hooper, whereas the floor price guy, to nobody's surprise,
I'm
is
going
to
right now. This is my most confidence bet. Okay, this is my
God. Let's get to the whole card and then I'll ask you. Let's get to the whole card and then I'll ask you, okay?
It's already there. You already know it, champ.
All right. Moving on here, we have, which is, I'm surprised it's not the featured prelim. This is a very important fight for the division. I would
put it on the pay-per-view. Like I don't understand.
This is pretty much the number 1 contender fight, right?
Yep.
For the women's.
Well, let's make something very clear here. What happened was, our girl, what's her name?
Richie, not Tabitha. Suarez.
Yeah, Suarez. Tatiana Suarez was the thing is they were going to get to Verna, and then Tatiana Suarez was like, I could fight. So
but Verna was injured, right? She was injured.
I don't think so.
No, because she was supposed to be on 311, I think. On the
but I think they pulled her out to put Suarez because Suarez, it's more marketable.
I thought she was injured, bro. Remember we talked about. Was she injured?
I think she came out and said some shit. We got to verify that information.
Yeah,
but she is the clear number 1 contender right now, and I would have let Suarez develop a little bit more, but bro, sorry, go ahead because you got to say the spiel, and then I'm going to talk.
Yeah, hold on, let me look because I want to say she was supposed to be on another card.
She was. I just think they yanked her, bro. They
literally the UFC 312. What was 312?
Where Jan was going to fight? Who was there? That was the co-main event.
There was a fight she was supposed to be on. I'm not tripping, bro.
I know you're not tripping. I know that she was supposed to fight Suarez. Yes.
Where were they supposed to fight?
Uh,
I want to see because I want to see if she was out with an injury or somebody was out with an injury, and that's why that fight got squashed.
Nah, look, as it always been. UFC.
It got canceled. Okay.
UFC
Oh,
310.
reason Suarez was injured. Okay, Suarez was injured. UFC 310.
No, but
It
she
was.
fought. She fought. Didn't she fight? She fought.
But it was 310. It was UFC 310. Pantoja card.
She pulled off but I think they just yanked her up to get her to Yan. I think that's what it was. Bad idea. Bad idea.
Let's get into this. We have Xiaonan Yan or Yan Xiaonan, however you say it, is taking on Virna Jandiroba. Yan is 19-4-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Tabata Ricci via unanimous decision. Jandiroba is 21-3-0 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Amanda Lemos via submission. Now, this is a classic striker versus grappler, right? When you look at Jandiroba, she has a solid takedown and dangerous ground game. Her striking isn't the best, but it is getting better. She's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's a submission specialist. We all know that. But she's going up against somebody in Yan Xiaonan, who is a striker. She has that Sanda background. She has really nice boxing, is competent defensive grappling. She's a 66% on her career in the UFC with her takedown defense. She's durable. She rarely gets finished. I know Carla Esparza was able to get her out of there. She has good lateral movement, and she will. I think in this fight, the key to her winning would be to utilize her lateral movement to frustrate Jandiroba's takedown attempts and, get her to fight her fight, engage in the striking, because what's going to happen when Jandiroba shoots for a takedown and it gets stuffed, right? And she just keeps shooting and gets tired. And one of the things I don't like about Jandiroba is her takedown entries. And I was watching the Amanda Lemos fight, right? She just blasts doubles, gets you up against the fence, and then takes you down, right? She doesn't really set up her exchanges. And if you're doing that against somebody who's elite, like Yan, she's going to be able to read that, right? She's going to be able to get out of the way or maintain distance to limit that, or close the distance and get you in the clinch to limit that. So I don't know. I think Jan's takedown defense could hold up. I know a lot of people are banking on the fact that Jandiroba is going to just take her down, maul her, submit her, but I think they're underestimating Jan's takedown defense. I mean, it is getting better. We've seen her, up against really good grapplers, stuffs a lot of takedowns, right? I mean, yeah, she has been on her back on few occasions, right? Like the Carla Esparza fight, but I think that was more so fight IQ. Like if you watch that Carla Esparza fight, she messed up. She blitzed in immediately, and Carla was like, "Nope, we're going to the ground," right? Took her to the ground and beat her. But I like Yan here as a dog. I think her takedown defense is really good. I think she can get it done, man. I think she can get a gritty decision done.
Yan will get it done, bro. Like I feel, the Carla Esparza stuff. I think it was too soon for her. I think it was really too soon. And then you got to remember, Carla went and contended for the belt and beat Rose, right?
Yeah.
But now she's on the way out, which again, to me, she did win Tisha Torres or Tisha Pennington.
And I think it was just fight IQ. Like she was too aggressive, and Carla was like, "No, we're not doing this. We're not doing this." But you look at her takedown defense up against like Mackenzie Dern, up against even Tabata Ricci. Tabata Ricci was able to take her down, I think, 1 out of like 6 attempts, right? Yeah. And when we broke down that card, a lot of us were picking Tabata Ricci because of her pressure, because of her takedowns, and she was unsuccessful there. I'm not saying she's the same type of grappler as Jandiroba, but her takedown defense is improving. It is getting better.
Yeah, and like one of the things to kind of observe from this fight, I mean, bro, this is the real number 1 contender fight. I gotta say, Tatiana Suarez should have never fought. What they did with Tatiana Suarez, what they said, you know what? Like, I think they yanked her up and they said, okay, well, you're gonna make a better co-main event slot than Virna. Let's face it, Virna is not as marketable as Tatiana Suarez is.
Yeah.
And everybody was yapping, bro. You remember all the yappers, bro? All the fucking guys yapping. Oh, Tatiana Suarez and
it's gonna submit her. It's gonna do all this. Oh, get the fuck out of here.
What are we doing? Striking, bro. The thing is, like, that girl, needs to strike better. And it's just like, I don't get it, bro. Like you're so good at grab. But anyway, it's not about her. Let's talk about these girls. Jan has been getting so much more better. Like
Yeah.
it's actually insane that we bet against Jan and against Tabitha Ricci. I think Tabitha Ricci was coming. Yeah, it's crazy.
You know, now that we think about it, she was in China. Like it's like everything was
China, bro.
and we bet against her. You know what it was though? It was that dog money that we liked. We were chasing that.
Yeah, it was that dog money, but yeah, man, it's just she's so good now. I feel she's so like on point. Yeah, Lupita, Marina. Yeah, you can't base it off these fights. I'm gonna go with Jan. My heart wants me to go with Verna. I think Verna. It's gonna be a dog fight, bro. It's gonna be an interesting fight.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens on the first takedown attempt, right? And how the odds are going to shift, right? I think this is a good fight to bet live. And I think for Jan to be successful, she's going to have to utilize her lateral movement, right? Utilize her lateral movement, pick and pop, pick and pop, pick and pop, keep her guessing, right? Not let her close the distance and just blast that double that she likes to do or that single leg and, push her up against. She has to stay away from the fence. But yeah, I think Jan has to stay away from being backed up to the fence because that's where Verna likes to get people on the fence, then take them down to the ground using her strength. But I think Jan movement, footwork, pick and pop, she should have some success here. Stuff a couple takedowns, get Jandiroba tired, second round, third round, and I think she could pull away.
I think she will pull away. I mean, I'm just trying to see what could be an issue where she doesn't. Like, what do we? Also, when was the last time Verna fought? Amanda Lemos is no joke. It's crazy. These like, remember I picked against for Lemos. I like Lemos.
And it's not like she's bigger. It's not like she's bigger too. I mean, she's 5'3" up against a 5'5" fighter, right?
Manlier.
Yeah, man. What's the speculation you told me? What was the thing you told me yesterday? She looks like what? She looked like she got in touch with
Anderson Silva,
right? She got in touch with Vitor.
No, Anderson Silva's coach. Like, what are we doing over here, bro? And I mean, look, that's speculation. She has not tested positive, but it's just sometimes you got the look. You ask Chael Sonnen, maybe Chael could give you the stuff. Verna's just good. It's just Jan is better for business, right? Well, no, Jan is not better for business because she just contended the belt with less than a year ago with Zhang.
That was a really good fight.
Yeah, but if Jan wins, she becomes a number one contender, which I think they do a pay-per-view in China, bro. Just like in China. Fill up one of those Chinese stadium, bro. Like,
it's gonna be interesting though, because if Jandiroba wins, do they give her the title shot or do they give Wei Li the super fight with the winner of Shevchenko and Manin, right? It's gonna be interesting to see what happens. Because she did say that in her last fight, but we'll see. We're both going with Xiaonan Yan, right? All right, we're both going with the dog here.
We said it before. The UFC needs to do a better job in marketing these girls, and also the thing is, as an independent contractor, you are responsible to do your own marketing, and these girls don't help with that, right? Like, at least Zhang is a little bit more marketable, right? But
I mean, this fight can go either way. We can be completely wrong, right? Jandiroba can take her down, dominate, hit ground and pound, get a freaking submission, and it could be done. But it can go the other way too, like we're saying. So we're both going with Xiaonan to get it done. We'll move on here to our featured prelim. Dan 50K Ige taking on Sean, the sniper Woodson. This is a good fight, man. Ige is 18-9-0 and is 2-5 in their last 5 bouts, last losing to Lerone Murphy via unanimous decision. Woodson is 13-1-1 and is 4-5 in their last 5 bouts, last knocking out Francisco Padilla. Remember that fight? People were saying, Padilla's a good dog. He was like a plus 500, I think. Like, oh, he's a good dog. You can knock out Woodson. Get out of here, bro.
Remember your boy.
Man, we both picked Woodson, but listen, you look at Ige, the big thing people are going to talk about this week is the size discrepancy, right? 5'7" up against somebody who's 6'2" in the reach, right? 78 reach up against somebody who's 71-inch reach. Ige, he has solid kickboxing. He throws nice hooks to the body, uppercuts, and leg kicks. He has a judo background. He has BJJ. He can grapple. He's durable. He can last, the 3 rounds. He's not going to fade away. He's not going to get tired. He's going to be in your face. He has that dog in him. But when you look at Woodson, right, on the side of Woodson, he's a long, rangy striker. He has solid takedown defense. He is an elite. He has a really nice jab is what I like, and that's something that I took away from watching his film. He has a good jab. He has effective combinations to the head, body. He's durable, and he has, as we mentioned, the reach advantage here. I think the key for Woodson would be to utilize his strengths to his advantage, right? Maintain that range, pop him with the jab, just, outbox him. He is the better boxer of the two. And then on the side of Ige, if you like the dog, he's gonna have to get in there, get in his face, right? Get some takedowns, right? Test his grappling, see how good it is. He does have limited grappling in the UFC, and if Ige closes the distance, it can get interested to see how Woodson looks on the ground, right? Like, how's he gonna look? How's his Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? How's his grappling? How's his defense? That's gonna be Ige's path to victory, in my opinion. But I'm gonna go with Woodson here, man. I like his striking. I like his boxing. I like his jab. I like his combination. So I'm gonna go with Woodson here to pull it out, man.
Yeah, and fuck. You know who I'm going with, right? I'm going with Ige. And I like Woodson.
You contradict yourself a lot because you say you like reach, you like all this,
but
and
there's certain fighters that
you got somebody here with the 7-inch reach advantage, and you're saying I'm gonna go with the other guy. What are we doing?
So yeah, and here's the thing about it. If we can match Ige's speed to Woodson's speed,
yeah,
I would have. Sorry, if they both have the same speed, I will go with Woodson. But Woodson does not have the same speed and conditioning that Ige has. Ige is going to press the pace and is going to knock him out. I'm predicting a knockout with.
You think Ige knocks him out? Wow.
I think he knocks him out. Whoa. And it's just, you know what it is, bro? Like, I don't like Ige has more speed on him. And that's the thing about it. Like, foundationally, Ige is actually very good in the pocket. And he's going to look into enter in. And even Sean Wood has this kind of style where it's like the jab. So he's going to look into body, head. Then he's the perfect villain. I wish they would have given him another opponent, to be honest with you, because I would have gone Sean Woodson all day. But, let me check my odds. Let me see what's my man.
Sean Woodson has never been knocked out. He has been choked. He has been submitted by Julian Erosa, Juicy J. But that's a bold prediction, man. You think Ige's going to knock him out? You think how do you envision the knockout?
Body. He's going to hurt his body. And then he's going to hurt his body. And he's going to go from there. Because the thing about it, like, I don't like Woodson is strictly boxing. Like, he has one of the best boxing stuff. But as soon as Ige mixes it up, it's going to be a little tail. So I'll say, and when was the last time you saw Dan Ige in kind of like danger? Because he doesn't stand in front of a fighter. Like, Dan Ige moves, gets on the inside, grapples. That's what I'm banking on.
Yeah, and like I said, I think if Ige closes the distance, gets inside, right, like you mentioned, attacks the body and secures some. I think the key here is going to be the ground game. I want to see how Woodson looks, if he gets taken down, or if this fight does go to the ground.
Yeah, he should look better, but if not, like, Ige wins if he's able. Sorry, Woodson's win if he's able to control the range. But I think, and it's funny because, like, I look at this fight as similar to Josh Emmett versus Murphy, and he should have better access on the inside. And look, we talk about Murphy, but Ige fought Murphy in his last outing, and he did good. It's just Murphy is very good with that jab. Like, Murphy is like Leon Edwards when he was starting, where he just circles, jabs, circles. Woodson doesn't have that. So
he has a good jab, though.
He does have a good jab, but his conditioning and his movement is not to kind of par as Ige. So we see. I could be wrong, but this is my the second top underdog pick.
Ige. I'm not mad at it, man. I think Dan Ige is a lot of people's underdog pick, right? He's well liked. He's a good fighter, and he can get it done. There is a path to victory there, but I'm gonna go with Woodson here. I think Woodson gets it done. So we're on opposing ends. We'll move on to our main card, but before we do, make sure you guys hit the like. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Make sure you show some love, guys. We are here every week, week in, week out, giving you these breakdowns, giving you these picks, giving you bets. Make sure you follow us on X @Combat Sport, guys. The link is in the description below. Without further ado, let's get into this main card. We have a men's light heavyweight bout. Get to my notes here. Oh, where's my notes? We have Nikita Krylov taking on Dominic Reyes. Reyes is 14-4-0 and is 2-5 in his last 5 bouts, last beating Anthony Smith via KO. Krylov is 39-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts, last beating Ryan Spann via submission. Krylov hasn't fought in 2 years. I want to note that. He has good wrestling and he uses his striking well to set up his takedowns. He's well-rounded. He does have some power behind his shots, but being away from the octagon for 2 years is kind of concerning, right? Like, how's he gonna look, right? How's he gonna look coming back? Is there gonna be some octagon rust? We look at the side of Reyes. He has been inconsistent in the past, but he's on a nice little win streak here. He has 2 wins. He's won his last 2 bouts. He has nice striking technique and power. He's good everywhere when he's good. He has solid takedown defense, his striking focus, and elite kickboxing. I think here his takedown defense is going to hold up against, Krylov, and I think his striking's a lot more technical and better. I like Dominic Reyes as a dog here. I mean, we're talking about the guy who arguably beat John Jones, man.
Oh,
I knew I was going to get a reaction from you. Okay, we'll cut that. I'm gonna go with Dominic Reyes.
Nah, don't cut it, bro. It's just the disdain that I have, bro.
Your reaction was
what
good.
was it, bro? Because I left some shit. I said some shit like on a tweet like Dominic. Because the thing is, bro, Dominic has 2 wins. John is no longer in the division, so my man be like, you know what? I should have been champion, and I'm like, brother, but they literally gave you a rematch. They gave you, bro, you contended for the belt against John B. What happened, bro? You got knocked out, right?
Yeah, but what you said, I think what you're referencing is what you said in a Twitter comment. You put, "Let it go, bro," and everybody was like, "Would you let it go if you beat the pound for pound drug you?" Like, they were just going in on John Jones.
No, bro.
And I remember you sent me that, and you're like, "Yeah, man, my man needs to get over it." So
get over it, bro. Like, you got different contenders to fight against now, bro. What are we doing over here, bro?
All right, let's go with the breakdown. Who you got, man? What you liking here?
I like Reyes, bro. I think this new resurgence of the crybaby. You like that, eh?
Go ahead, go. Why are you going?
Yeah, I mean, look, he has his mojo back, bro. When this guy has his groove back, he's pretty good. He's pretty good. Nikita, though, I mean, fuck, does he give him problems? The inactivity, bro. I'm similar to you. I don't like his inactivity. That's all it is. Like, why was he gone for 2 years? What happened, bro? Visa issues. What are we looking at over here, bro? The Ukraine war happened around that time. That might be an issue, right? Like, how much training versus military service? If we look that up, let's actually look that up, right? Because I'm going to go with Reyes.
I didn't figure out why was he gone.
Probably Ukraine military service. Let me see. No.
Oh, it says here a fight cancellation, a period of inactivity, and potential focus on other opportunities. All right. So you're gonna go with Dominic Reyes, right?
You're gonna go with Nikita?
We're both going with Reyes.
You like that minus 195? I mean that. It's a plus 158 now, so the odds are dropping a little bit. I don't know, man. I'm gonna give Reyes the benefit of the doubt. I think he gets it done with Nikita. If he stays composed. Nikita's one of these fighters that he's very good, well-rounded, right? Like, he lost the thing is, people look at the Paul Craig, bro. When people talk shit about Paul Craig beat Magomedov, bro, the current champion. So anything could happen in MMA, but the landscape, the groove, we can't judge the Anthony Smith fight. Anthony Smith is on his way out. Dustin Jacoby was a good fight, and kickboxing wise, it just showed you where both individuals are. I think he takes it.
Yeah, I want to see like how he looks in this fight, and if he pulls out the win, we'll start seeing what the future has for Dominic Reyes, right?
Give him a span again, bro.
Go. Spana's on heavyweight, bro.
It was crazy, bro. Reyes and then let me bitch a little bit, bro, because Reyes was talking about when Reyes was, John Jones. I would love to fight John Jones at heavyweight, bro. You just got 2 victories, bro. You 4 losses in a row, four and 3 knockouts, 3 brutally, like Jiri, John, even the spam knockout was. I thought they were gonna cut him. I'm surprised they gave him what do you call it? They allowed him to stay in the UFC. But yeah, he proved, and here we are. So yeah, based on inactivity alone, I'm gonna go with Reyes.
All right, let's move on here. We're almost an hour in, and we have 4 more fights to break down. We have Yair Rodriguez taking on the debuting former Bellator featherweight champ Patricio Pitbull. I was gonna say Verde. I don't know why I was gonna say Verde. Patricio Pitbull Rodriguez is 19-5-0 and is 2-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last losing to Brian Ortega via submission. Pitbull is 36-7-0 and is 3-5 in their last 5 bouts. Last beating Jeremy Kennedy via KO. Now, how do I want to tackle this? You look at, if you follow Bellator, Pitbull dominated over there, as the featherweight and lightweight champ. He's a solid grappler who can push the pace. He can get in your face. He has power. He has the finishing ability. He has 24 stoppages in his career, and he has knockouts over, the likes of Michael Chandler, who's also fighting on this card. He's aggressive. He likes to close the distance, throw wild hooks, uppercuts. That could be an issue for Rodriguez if he closes that distance. You look at Yair Rodriguez, he's on a 2-fight losing skid, last losing to Alexander Volkanovski and then Brian Ortega. But in that Brian Ortega fight, he had him pretty much dead to rights, right? Knocked him down. And I think poor fight IQ, went to the ground and he got submitted, right? I think that was at UFC Mexico, if I'm not mistaken. Was that at UFC Mexico?
Yeah. But he fucked him up prior to that, though. So
yeah, he was fucking him up
too.
And when you look at Yair Rodriguez in this fight, he has advantages. One, he has the youth on his side, right? He's 32 years young up against a 37-year-old. He has the height advantage, 5'11 versus 5'6. And he has the 5.5-inch reach advantage at 71-inch reach. I think, you look at Rodriguez, he has the solid kicks, right? He has like fucking beautiful leg kicks, man. He can fight at range. He's pretty much good everywhere. His takedown defense has been a question of concern. And if you're on the side of Pitbull, you're going to bank on the fact that he's going to close the distance, secure some takedowns, tire out Yair, and then finish him in the later rounds. But I don't know, man. I don't see Yair losing 2 fights in a row. Look at who he lost to, right? He lost to, and look at how he lost. He lost to Brian Ortega via submission, right? Poor fight IQ, shouldn't have gone down there. The fight shouldn't have been down there. And then he lost to Alexander Volkanovski, right? This is prior to, Volkanovski when he came back down, right? From fighting Makhachev, came back down, he said, hey, what are you doing down here? With my interim belt. Let me show you what's up. Got his belt back. And then you look at Pitbull, right? Like you look at his last fight. Yeah, he got the KO, but then you look at the fight before that, right? At Ryzen. He got knocked out. He didn't look good in that fight. That was in 2023. And then you look at the Sergio Pettis fight. Sergio Pettis was beating him up pretty badly on the feet, man. I don't know. Do you think Patricio comes in on his UFC debut and gives Yair his 3rd loss in a row?
No.
Or do you think Yair gets it done here? I like Yair, man. I think Yair, I don't see him losing 3 in a row. I think he's going to manage the distance. I don't think he's gonna get knocked out. I mean, I do question the takedowns, but I like Yair here, man. I think Yair's not gonna give up. I think he's gonna keep the fight standing. I think he's gonna make a case for himself, right? And depending on who wins the main event, Guadalajara's right there, man. Guadalajara's right there waiting. But I like Yair here. I'm gonna go with Yair Rodriguez.
I'm gonna go with Yair as well. Fuck, it's crazy how young this guy is for the amount of time he's been fighting since 2000. So especially in Bellator, like he was fighting in Bellator for years, but this guy's been fighting since 2004, bro. Like, you know how crazy that is?
Yeah.
He's been fighting since he's what, 16, 17 years old?
Bad man, bro. He has the longest reign, I think, too.
Yeah, it's the longest reign and multiple victories and all this different stuff. But you know, like to think that the thing is, Yair's banking on that, and Pitbull said it. I'm banking on the fact that this individual is a culprit. He has not addressed his issue on the ground. I'm going to explode it. I'm going to take him down. And like that's fine, bro. But like, I don't think in your last 5 fights you face someone as good as Yair Rodriguez. I'm going to be very honest with you. He trained with Cejudo, but Cejudo's on his way out. Let's be honest with you. Like, I don't know what type of training he is. The Pettis loss has me wondering, right? Reach, baby. We're going Yair Rodriguez. He's gonna start snapping them legs.
Yeah, I think Yair, for him to have success, right, he's gonna have to attack the legs early, right? Attack the calves, limit his forward movement, right? Attack that lead leg, and then throw some body kicks in there, man. Hurt him. Make him think about closing that distance, man.
I think he's gonna kick, and he's gonna defend. I'm gonna go with Yair. I just hope that Yair, bro, throws so heavy. I just hope he doesn't break a foot or anything, because that's it. No, but you know this guy throws heavy punch.
And the odds have Yair as a favorite, whereas Pitbull is the underdog, right? At a plus 165.
I think a great parlay for this one, Yair. You want to do oof, man. It's crazy the amount of dogs that I picked, eh? I'm just looking at the dogs.
You've had worse. I mean, you picked, I think you picked some dogs before.
Yeah, but like I think we get good parlays going on here. Like
singles or parlays, be careful. But I think here we're both gonna go with the Yair Rodriguez to pull it out. I like him in this spot. I don't see him losing 3 in a row, man. I don't know. I just don't see it. He's never lost 3 in a row. I don't see him doing it here to Patricio, the aging Patricio Pitbull. If this was Pitbull in his prime, different story, yeah?
Very different story. But listen, like Tulio and Rodriguez get you at a minus 110, eh? So we'll see. We'll see. But
we'll move on here.
Your favorite. Your favorite. Your favorite. One of your favorite fighters coming. Go ahead, champ.
One of my favorite fighters. That's crazy. Do you know who my favorite fighter is? Let me see if you know your boy. Who's your favorite fighter?
Well, in the main event, boy.
My favorite fighter.
Main event, boy, right now.
Who's my second favorite fighter?
Oh, man. Bro, you don't shut up about Silva, bro. I'm going to be 100 with you.
What's Silva?
Kyle. Kyle is your second.
Kyle Barallo?
Yeah.
No. I like Kyle, though, but he's not
crazy, no?
No.
It ain't Padilla. It ain't Padilla.
No, not Padilla. Well, I'll let you guess, man.
What weight division?
Next up, weight division?
Yeah.
It's a welterweight, man. He's a welterweight.
I'm a cook. Go ahead.
Come back to me. Next up, we have Bryce Mitchell taking on Gene Silva. Bryce Mitchell, prior to me going into this, Bryce Mitchell made some controversial comments in a podcast, right? He's made some outlandish fucking claims that is wildly idiotic and stupid, right? That I don't even want to address. And Gene Silva saw the heat and saw the disdain that a lot of fans had for Bryce Mitchell, and he took the opportunity to call him out, right? I think he did it with the intent to like gain some fans, right? Like I know, like me thinking, like, how you mentioned earlier, like these individuals have to promote themselves, right?
Yeah.
And I think Gene saw, okay, a lot of people are upset at this guy. Let me call him out be the baby face, right? And gain some fans, gain some supports. In my first time on a pay-per-view main event, this is where I can shine, right? And I think that's how this fight came into play. Now, when you look at Silva, he's 15-2-0 and is 5-5 in his last 5 bouts, last beating Bogdasarian via KO. Mitchell is 17-2-0 and is 3-5 in his last 5 bouts, last beating Gracie via KO. I think this fight, and I don't want to compare it to last week, Brito and Sabatini, but I think there is some comparison to be made that a lot of people are banking on the fact that Silva's going to just immediately KO him, and they're undermining Bryce Mitchell's ability, right? Because Bryce Mitchell's good. He has good grappling, and you look at his record, right? Like, let's just break it down real quick. You look at his record. He lost to Ilia Topuria, but he was doing fairly well, right? Prior to him getting choked out. Like, you know, he was doing well on the feet, and he incorporated some grappling. He took him down. He just got submitted. Dan Ige fight, okay, he won via unanimous decision. Josh Emmett, he got brutally knocked out, right? He was fucking shaking on the ground. We all seen that image. And then you look at the step down in competition, right? Like, he gets knocked out, and then he fights Kron Gracie, who everybody had him knocking him out, right? Kron Gracie is a Brazilian jiu-jitsu nerd, right? He just gets on, he pulls guard, and he waits for you to come to him.
Yeah.
He's going up against Jan Silva, man, and I think it's going to be interesting, man, because Silva, you know, he's a dynamic, technical striker. He's wild. He likes to mix things up. He's always in there, like, clapping his, you know, like, you know, getting his opponents to touch his hands. Like, do you think, well, let me ask you this. Do you think Mitchell shakes his hand in the octagon? He falls into that trap?
No, because he's the demon, the fucking...
the demon. He can be, so Silva can be taken down. We have seen Charles Jourdain take him down when they fought. I think he took him down 3 times. But he has the speed, he has the power, he has an unorthodox technique. He likes to throw spinning attacks and elbows. I think he's going to do well on the ground. I think he's going to be okay on the ground. I think this is a good opportunity for him to showcase that. When you look at the side of Mitchell, obviously the striking edge is going to go to Silva. Mitchell has solid grappling. He has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He has that American Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu where he sets up his takedowns with his strikes, right? He incorporates trips. He takes you down and he gets busy. And he has wrestling too, which allows him to control his opponents on the mat. He's durable. He can weather storms. He has done so, like I mentioned, the Ilia Topuria fight. I think this is going to be an interesting fight. And I think the bets that I'm going to make for this fight, I'm going to pick Gene Silva. I think Gene Silva gets it done. I think his takedown defense is going to be okay. I don't think he's going to be a scrub on the ground, right? I think he's going to scramble. He's going to be able to get up. I mean, his gym is primarily known for grappling, right? The fighting nerds, the core 4, when you look at Carlos Prates, Kyle Barallo, Mauricio Rufi, and then Gene Silva, right? That core 4 is really good, right? They have the full package there. And I think the bet that I'm going to make is I'm going to put Mitchell by points if it gets to a decision. And I'm going to bet Gene Silva inside the distance, decision, no action, right? Because that I win either way, right? I win either way. If it goes to a decision and Mitchell's done enough, right? He secured some takedowns. You know, he won off of points. He controlled them. I think that's there, man. I like that, but I'm gonna go with Gene Silva here as the official pick. I think Gene Silva can get it done, and if he KOs him, I wouldn't be surprised. But I don't think it's gonna be like the immediate, like, first 10 seconds, 20 seconds, like everyone's making it out to be.
No, and like, man, like,
sorry, I went on a rant, bro. My bad.
No, you're that's your boy, bro. Okay, it has to be. Now,
you were trying to look for my favorite fighter?
No. You've been yapping about Sean Brady, but I don't think Sean Brady's your. You've never yapped that much
It's
about
not Sean Brady, bro.
It's not Sean Brady, bro.
It's not Sean Brady.
I know who it is, bro.
Who is
Bilal, bro.
Nah, you know, Bilal's growing on me, though. He's growing on me, his personality. I feel bad for him, bro, because he has to have a chip on his shoulder, man. Everyone's talking shit to him. He goes to the press conferences. The fans are clowning on him. Like, my man has to have a chip on his shoulder. So I'm rooting for him in that regard. But go ahead. Tell me what you think about this fight. That's a whole
different animal, that. But, bro, you know what's crazy about this fight is, like, you got a situation where Bryce Mitchell, like, motherfucker tries to act like he's not emotional, but, bro, you Gene the Lord Silva, bro, like,
It's a beautiful story, man. You know, he's facing the
It's
Lord, man. The guy's nickname is Lord. That's
actually
crazy.
insane, bro. Like you start to actually think about um this whole situation is actually insane. But yeah, I mean, look, man, I don't even know where to kind of start with this fight. I don't want to yap that much. I'm gonna say,
Go ahead, let it out.
yeah, it's just I just like his streak that much, bro. Like the streak is an impressive streak. And to say that, I mean, Mitchell could potentially hold him down. I'll say that John has been more focused than Mitchell. How about that? John takes it. John's
Yeah,
been more focused.
Jean,
Mitchell,
I'm picking Jean. I think he could take it, but I'm not underestimating Mitchell's ability, right?
but
I could totally see him getting a takedown, controlling him. You know?
yeah, but the fact, the one of the things I'm adding into the equation is basically, um, how much, how many, like how Mitchell has been in the what do you call it on like on the headline of a lot of different stuff, and I do feel that's going to affect him. You feel me? I feel that that's been one of the.
Can you imagine his walkout? How the crowd? I want to see how the crowd's gonna react when his music hits and they
I
see
told
his
you
name.
what it needs to come out to, bro. If bro
No,
comes
don't
out
say
to,
it, bro. Don't say it, bro. Do not say it.
bro, imagine.
Don't say it. Don't say it.
I
Don't
won't,
say
I
it.
won't, bro. I won't. But imagine if bro literally comes out
Don't say that.
to a speech, and
Don't say that, man. What are we
bro,
doing? You're gonna
no, we're not saying that. But could you imagine like somebody's getting fired in the UFC and it's not gonna be him, but they're gonna check his shit because they're like, this guy is too wild. But bro, he's a rapper too. Did you know that he raps?
Oh yeah, Thug Nasty, man.
Thug Nasty has a rap song. I'm gonna go with the Lord. I think we need my man needs to do an exorcism on
Yeah, I think the Lord gets
Lord.
it done, man. But I'm just saying, don't underestimate. You know, we'll see
Nah,
though.
we'll
I'm gonna go
see.
with the Lord here. Gene Silva to get it done. We're both picking Gene Silva, fighting nerds, baby. 50,000 lebones. Remember that video when Hoofy knocked out you know what's crazy? Hoofy knocked out King Green, right? At UFC, what was it? UFC 313?
Yeah.
Yeah, UFC 313 and
Yeah.
yeah, UFC 313 and Protez, you know, who was supposed to be on the card was smoking and drinking beer, bro. And everybody's like, "Yo, you're not supposed to be in training camp. What are you doing?"
Yeah, bro.
So
Let that man vibe.
next up, we have your favorite fighter in the ever so clean Michael Chandler up against Patty Pimblett. Scousers don't get knocked out. That was a horrible, horrible Scottish accent. I'll never do that again. Okay, that was just a once in a lifetime thing. Chandler is 23, 9-0, and he's 1-5 in his last 5 bouts. Last losing to Charles Oliveira via unanimous decision. Pimblett is 22, 3-0, and is 5-5 in his last 5 bouts. Last beating King Green via submission. Now, the thing that upsets me about Chandler is he took that 2-year layoff, right? Waiting for McGregor. And when he took the fight against Charles Oliveira, we expected him to come out different, right? We expected him to like change his game plan, change the way he approached things, and it was the same version of
It
Michael
was
Chandler.
worse. It was actually worse.
Same entertainment. The only thing he changed different was that he was more he was less aggressive in that fight. He took his time in that fight because he didn't want to expand his energy, right? He didn't want to gas out, but he looked the same, right? And Chandler is somebody who looks to entertain. He's a Division I wrestler who's aggressive. He pushes the pace. He doesn't necessarily always use his wrestling. And Charles Oliveira had the better success on the ground against Chandler. He throws bombs. He throws those wild overhands. He likes to fight dirty. He's been accused of being dirty. You look at Dustin Poirier talks about it. Justin Gaethje talks about it. Charles Oliveira talks about it, right? He has had some dirty antics.
Dirty wins
Yeah,
fights. Bro.
he's aggressive. He gets in your face. What's up?
Dirty wins fights.
Yeah,
like, I don't blame him. I don't blame him.
He's aggressive. He's high pace. He's striking. He likes to throw those bombs. He's going up against Patty Pimblett, who, you know, he has the youth on his side. He's pretty good on the ground, right? I think his ground game is really, really underrated. He has good jiu-jitsu, man. His stand-up is questionable. I know a lot of people critique him for having his chin up in the air, especially when he gets pushed back, right? He puts his chin up and he throws his combinations. And I think that can be an area for concern. But I think this fight is 5 rounds, right? If I read that correctly. I think it's 5. Yeah, it's 5-by-5. So it's 5 rounds. It's going to be interesting how this fight looks if it goes to this 3rd round, the 4th round, how both fighters look. But I think Paddy Pimblett, man. I'm going to go with Paddy Pimblett. He's younger. He should be faster. His striking should be okay. Should hold up. And I think on the ground, he should have some success. His jiu-jitsu's good. Chandler didn't look good against Oliveira. I'm not saying that Pimblett's on the level of Oliveira, but his ground game is pretty good. I think Pimblett's going to have some success here. I'm going to go with Pimblett, man.
This is the 5-round fight.
Yeah.
This is Paddy's first 5-round fight in the UFC. Man, you know what's crazy? It's like we had a conversation, you and I, that we were never going to pick Chandler. The fact that he's coming back to entertain you. Like, you feel me? And Paddy, I think he's gotten so much. I think when Paddy,
I don't understand the Paddy hate. A lot of people dislike Paddy. I don't understand it. I like him.
It's a UK thing, maybe because he's UK. Also, him and Topuria have history too.
Oh, okay. So you think people are just deriding Topuria?
Yeah. He has a little bit of history there with him. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, if this man wins, this man could potentially beat him too, right? Chandler. What are we betting on, though? I think that's the real question here. Like, are we going to see an entertainer? Because that's the thing, bro. Like, if I'm gonna go with Paddy, I'm not gonna fuck around. The reason why Chandler has acknowledged where he's at in the division. Chandler is not looking for a finish. He doesn't, he doesn't tell. Like, he had a very good interview with the boxer in ESPN. You should watch. It's interesting. Where the guy was just throwing him questions, and it goes back into the Charles Oliveira fight. He's not telling you he's going to finish the guy. He's just saying, I'll get my hand raised, thick and thin. And I'm just like, brother, I want the killer. I just think the taste of money has been so good to him. He forgot. He doesn't care. He thinks he's exempted from losing, and he's going to quit his job. Like, they're like, he has no fear.
He has name value.
Yeah, it has name value. But we understand that he took a year off and he came out like that. And then the only success he had against Oliveira was in the back of the head. So
in the 5th round, right? I think a 5-round fight favors Paddy Pimblett more. And I know that sounds crazy, right? Because they both gas, right? They both, because you look at the Tony Ferguson fight, he looked tired, right? But I think in a 5-round fight, it favors Paddy more, in my opinion. Whereas if this was 3 rounds, it favored Chandler more.
And it just, you know what it is, bro? It doesn't look good when your only win is Tony Ferguson as well.
Yeah, and that's a declining Tony Ferguson too, man.
Well, so Tony had Michael in trouble in the 1st round. Now, you don't remember this, but Tony had.
What year was that? Because that was a brutal KO, man. That fucking front kick.
Yeah, 3 years ago. Close to 3 years ago.
Did that kick off his losing streak?
No, Gaethje was.
Gaethje did, huh? It was Gaethje, right?
Gaethje, Oliveira, Beneil, and then Chandler. That when he lost to Chandler, that's when the knockout started to kind of happen. That's crazy, eh? Like 3 Gaethje.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, you're right. It was
Gaethje, Oliveira, Beneil, and then.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you here. I think Paddy Pimblett. It goes down to, like, one, he has the youth on his side, right? It's 30 years old versus a 38-year-old. He has
getting
2-inch height advantage. I think he wants it more. I think their goals are different, right? Like, Paddy Pimblett's talking about contending for a title. He's talking about fighting the best, right? Whereas Michael Chandler is still talking about Conor McGregor. He's still talking about, and he even said, whether I win or lose, I'm going to call out Conor McGregor. Have you seen the compilation of him calling out McGregor, like, in his last 5 fights?
Conor McGregor. Bro, like it was Islam, bro. Islam. But
it's beautiful to believe. It's beautiful to believe. I don't think you're going to get that fight, my man.
I would like, after this fight, win or lose, if Michael could lose some of that muscle and just drop to 145.
You've been talking about that for a long time. I don't think he's gonna do that, bro.
He should do it. Like, he's Bro, did you see how Oliveira towered him?
Yeah.
Oliveira was fighting at
Oliveira's tall though. He has a big frame. He has like a wide back.
Well, now, but like because he started to do heavy lifting, but like, bro, like
his back is wide. That's one thing.
I mean,
All
look,
right, so,
we're gonna go with Patty. We're gonna go with Patty. It's just the inch, bro. When you come in here and I'm gonna be entertained with your fight. I'm gonna. That's it, bro. Like,
yeah,
it's just as a better bro. Like, you got to understand that this guy is not hungry for the title.
Yeah, and I think the concern is obviously the power, right, and the aggressiveness. How's Patty gonna hold up with that, right? Like, how's he gonna do
when he keeps goes down? Is Michael gonna follow? No, Michael doesn't wrestle anymore. It's insane.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting.
You know why he doesn't wrestle? Why doesn't he wrestle?
Why doesn't he?
Because he gets tired. He gets fatigued.
Yeah,
he had the diamond in serious injuries. That's the thing. If Chandler could win, if you give him the first round. Now here's a great prop bet: Chandler by first round. Like, let me check out how much is that. I would bet that. I would, especially if you got one of those betting things. Okay, so if Chandler wins in the first round, is a plus 900. I slap $10, bro, because if he comes in hot, he could take him out.
Of course, everybody has that initial, especially him. As him.
I think especially him, especially more than anybody.
Yeah, but we're both going with Patty here. We think Patty gets it done. Patty
plus
should
get 550 for you to bet TKO KO round 1 or round number 2. Just an FYI.
There you go. There you have it. And as always, we will drop our bets later on in the week on X for free. We don't charge you anything. We don't have a subscription-based model. We don't have a blocker. We don't give you anything. It's just free out there. So
before we go to the main, decision plus 350,
There you go.
That's
next up. We have our main event for the vacant featherweight title. Ilia Topuria has decided he wants to move up to lightweight because the weight cut has been too much for him. He defended his title once against Max Holloway, knocking him out for the first time at UFC 308 in spectacular fashion. Now, Volkanovski taking on the surging Diego Lopes. Volkanovski has had a taste of that belt. He has had a taste of that championship, whereas Diego Lopes is searching for a taste. Volkanovski is 26-4-0 and is 2-5 in his last 5 bouts, last losing to Ilia Topuria via KO. Lopes is 26-6-0 and is 5-5 in his last 5 bouts, last beating Brian Ortega via unanimous decision. Now, Volkanovski, when you look at him, we know what he brings to the table, right? Do we really got to break him down? I mean, he has the striking, the exceptional wrestling, the fight IQ, the cardio. He's never been submitted. He has been KO'd twice by Islam Makhachev and Ilia Topuria. And I think the biggest mistake he made was that quick turnaround from the Makhachev to Topuria fight, right? I think we talked about it as it was happening. Volkanovski should have taken more time, right? Instead of fighting Topuria right away, because he fought someone as very dangerous, right? With knockout power. He should have taken more time off because he fought Makhachev in October of what year was it? 2023. In October of 2023, and then in February, so that's 4 months. 4 months he got back into action, right? And what is the thing you always say? People should take 6 to 8 months off?
6 to a year after a knockout like that.
And those were knockouts. Like,
well, look at Gaethje. Look at how much is Gaethje.
Exactly.
Here.
When you talk about knockouts, you have to talk about the circumstance surrounding the knockout, right? Like, he was knocked out, right? He had that vicious leg kick, right? That head kick. I'm sorry, I said leg kick. That vicious head kick by Makhachev, and then that right hook by Topuria. So he did take time off. It's been a little over a year since he last fought. He's going up against Lopes. Now, when you look at Lopes, right, he's Brazilian by nationality, but he's Mexican in heart. Like, he trains in Tijuana. He's an aggressive striker. He has nice boxing. He has beautiful counter strikes in my ability. He has a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and a dangerous submission game. Criticism that people have for Lopes is that he gasses out, right? And I kind of want to argue against that because people love to mention the Dan Ige fight, right? But then, as we always talk about, you want to look at circumstances surrounding the Dan Ige fight, right? He was originally supposed to fight Brian Ortega, correct? At 145. Yeah. Brian Ortega was sick. I think he agreed to fight him at 155, if I'm not mistaken, right? Brian Ortega didn't take the fight, so Brian Ortega was sick. He got a short notice opponent in Dan Ige, and he fought at a catch weight at 165, right? So he weighed in at 145, fought somebody in at 165 on short notice, right? 4 hour short notice. And yeah, he looked tired, but you got to look at the circumstances surrounding that, right? People say that he's undeserving because he lost to Movsar Evloev, right? And you look at that fight, that was his UFC debut on short notice, and he was working him. He looked good on the ground. He was scrambling. You know, the exchanges were nice. It's just that Evloev on a full camp beat him, right? Fair play. I think I'm going to go with Diego Lopes in this fight to beat Volkanovski inside the distance. Now, where Volkanovski can have success is going to be in the wrestling, right? I think if Volkanovski gets the wrestling going early, tire out Lopes, you know, kind of take away that initial first round, second round flair, he can have some success, and in the later rounds progress and win, right? Win off points, right? Win via decision if it goes to a decision. But I don't know, man. I think Lopes is good everywhere, man. I think he's dangerous everywhere. I see this fight, in my opinion, being a lot like the Ilia Topuria fight, right? Because when you rewatch that fight, you see Volkanovski initially just throwing the calf kick, moving laterally, and Topuria just stalking him, right? In the center of the octagon, just stalking him, getting his reads in. And I see a lot of that happening in this fight. I think it's going to start off with Lopes, center of the octagon, stalking him, and then finding that power, that punch, and then putting him out. It's going to be interesting, though, man. We're going to see. Is you know, with age, is Volkanovski's chin gone? We're going to see how he looks, man. But I'm sorry, I talked a lot. What do you got?
No, that's your boy. That's your. I'm not gonna call it your favorite fighter. I'll say he's in your top 5, eh?
Diego Lopes, man. Unbiased though. That was an unbiased pick. I do think he gets it done here, though, man.
I'm putting my bets in when you were yapping. No, I love it. I mean, fuck. This is one of these fights, champ, that it's scary. I'm gonna be 100 with you. Entering into this, it's like you have to say, well, you have to look at the flaws of Diego Lopes, and you have to say, well, whatever Movsar did to him, Volkanovski's going to look to do, right? But one of the things that Diego Lopes addressed very, you know, and that's why I like Diego. As soon as Diego understood he was fighting for the belt, one of the things that he ended up doing was he enlisted to a wrestling university, right? One of these American, and he just stayed there and grinded because he's prepared. And that's the thing about it. Like he knows this has been coming for a while, so he has been working on this. The other issue is you have the Dan Ige fight that many people talk about, and it's just like late last minute, different weight class, a lot of different stuff. But brother, the way he came out at Ortega was,
and how he looked in that third round.
Yeah,
he threw a lot in that third round. He didn't look tired in that third round. He threw a lot of strikes.
He did a lot, and reminiscences of Topuria, because that's where I would just say like that Diego's going to push the pace forward. Now the question is, can he cut the angles as good as Topuria? We're going to find out. But I do feel that he's going to get in his face. Volkanovski's going to clinch. Volkanovski's going to try to point fight. I am going with Lopes. I think the Volkanovski era is done. Respectfully, of course. But yeah. I just think, you know, the up and down, the knockouts, it hasn't been good, bro. It's not you know, you put Lopes as champion, it opens up to all these fights again.
How crazy! How crazy! I think the UFC is banking on Lopes winning because you have Guadalajara coming up. How big would it be or Lopes to headline a Guadalajara pay-per-view, man. UFC 320. That'd be crazy. You know? I think that'd be crazy. But what are the do you have the odds for
the Septiembre,
yeah, bro. It took you a minute to understand it here. I got quiet.
Yeah, that's
I got no response. I'm like, what is my boy not reacting? What's going on? Am I muted?
No, you're not muted.
But another thing that concerns me is, yeah, I know Volkanovski's talking about when I win, I'm gonna call out so and so, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna be active, but he also talks about his YouTube, right? And I know this is something that we've talked about off air, right? Like he's doing the cooking with Volk, and he's talked about how a lot of his fans don't know that he's even in the UFC, right? Like he has a lot of support from people who don't know he's a fighter. And I don't know if this is just pure speculation. I don't know if he's liking the success from content creating, right? A little more than he loves the success he had from fighting, right?
Champ, please. Like, I know where you're headed with you. We talked about it, but
you know what I mean? So I don't know, man.
Man gets paid though, man.
That's what I'm saying. When you get paid for not getting hit in the face, brother, would you take that?
Well, he gets paid as a champion, right? Like that's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's where you're going. Okay, I see what you meant.
Yeah. Like it's he collects a list like $1 million too. $1 million or a couple.
Of course. And they love him, and he's like a god in Australia, man.
Oh man, this guy, he is funny. Yeah, he's a very funny cat, bro. Like it's actually
good content, man. I like his YouTube. It's cool. Like the shorts he does, funny. But I think, yeah. Do you have I was gonna ask you, do you have the odds for KO sub? I want to see something.
Let me get it right now. I just made all my bets, just an FYI. I'm ready, baby. Okay, let me put them on. Because as we were discussing, I know I'm going to forget about some of these odds. And the fact, you know what the other issue is? Like, fight night, they jack up the odds. Like, even now, like, Diego is close to being an even fighter. Did you know that?
No, I got him on Saturday night after.
What you got him on?
After I made money on Reese McKee, I put all the money on Diego. I got him like a plus 150, plus 140.
Okay, because now he's a plus 107. So
yeah. See, I got him.
What are you looking for? What are the odds?
What are the odds for Diego Lopes submission win, a KO win, and inside the distance? Those three.
So, yeah. So combined TKO, KO, DQ, and submission plus 175. Decision and submission is plus 250.
Is there a submission single?
Yeah, I'm looking it up right now. Submission plus 550. Plus 550.
Plus 550, huh? How crazy would it be if he submits Volkanovski for the first time? I mean, we saw Sean Brady do it to Leon.
Yeah, but Ortega, bro. Ortega, he was gonna tap to Ortega. We could be wrong, right? We could be wrong.
What do you mean? He was gonna tap to Ortega?
Yeah, Ortega had him.
Who are you talking about? Ortega to Lopes or Ortega to Volk?
If you
when he had a Volk, okay, I see what you mean now.
Yeah, he had Volk in a very nasty position, and Volk didn't tap. Had him
it might be intriguing to sprinkle some money on that. You know, the inside the distance or the submission single. I like that. Because how crazy would that be, bro? If he submits Volk, that'd be fucking crazy. No one would have anticipated that. They're all banking on that.
But it's a good way of saying what's up, literally. And it's interesting. Like the one thing I'm getting is like Yair Rodriguez has a little beef with Lopes. Because apparently, like,
because he's not Mexican, he's not a representation of Mexico.
So, like,
that's what he said, right? I read that earlier today.
Yeah, my issue is what are you gonna do about it? Why don't you be Pitbull, bro? If Yair beats Pitbull, he has a good chance at a.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be a good main event in Mexico.
Great main event.
It would be a great main event. Money all day.
So maybe I think for Masvar, yeah.
One last thing I want to say before we end this is I'm going to be very intrigued to see how Volkanovski starts this fight, right? Because he's coming off of 2 KOs, right? Like, and we talk about it often, right? How fighters approach fights after being knocked out. And I want to see how he approaches this fight. How is he going to look in that first round? Because he's going to be gun shy. He's going to be a little bit timid, right? Because there's always that fear, right? Like, oh shit, I've been knocked out before. We talk about it often on this channel, so I'm gonna be intrigued to see how he starts off the first round.
Yeah, there is going to be a hell of an intrigue. But champ, always a pleasure doing these. I mean, this is going to be a good night. All the cards are stacked up. I think there's a lot of opportunities to making money here. I think I'm putting a little bit more money on parlays this time. I think a lot of fighters will hit. I think Dominic hits. Jim Miller plus 6,225, baby. Fuck. Come on, champ.
There we go. There is a lot of dogs on this card. That is our full card breakdown. Make sure you hit the like. Make sure you hit the subscribe. Make sure you show some love, guys. Do this week in, week out. Before we leave, though, I want to bring something up. Very, very important that we didn't even talk about, man. You. What's up with you? What's going on over here? What's going on with the glasses? What's up? What's going on?
Filter, bro. It's a filter. It's a Family Guy filter.
Filter. You're looking at. I see the glasses, and I don't know. I see the glasses, and you're looking like my man over here.
Who's this?
What are you doing?
Chill?
What are you doing with the glasses, bro? You trying to be like Chill?
No, I didn't.
All right, I wanted to leave you with that. I have to give you a little bit. All right, y'all. See y'all later. Love what you love. Do what you do. Peace.